Hi, and welcome everyone to another power yoga class. So let's get on our mats and let's begin. We will start with a couple of sun salutations. So step at the top of your mat, your feet are closed and your legs are engaged, belly button pulled inside, and then inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Make sure that your feet are hip width apart and that your fingers are spread wide and that you're distributing your weight evenly into your hands. Your neck is relaxed and your shoulders are away from your ears. Inhale, step forward between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, lift up your upper body, raise your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb, and exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. You're taking a couple of breaths here again. You can pull in your belly button and engage your pelvic floor. Again, make sure that your neck is relaxed. Your arms build one line with your back and try to straighten your legs completely. Inhale, step forward between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest, and now if you want to, you can jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep a steady and deep breath. Again, make sure that you're evenly distributing your weight into your hands. So not only into your wrists, but up into your fingertips. And try to bring your heels closer to the ground. Inhale. If you want to, you can jump forward in between your hands. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. And exhale, jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep breathing. Your belly button is pulled inside. And try to push yourself back. So try to get your hip closer above your heels. So you want to imagine that you're pushing the floor away with your hands. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, arms down. We shift over to another sun salutation. Inhale, bend your knees, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then step forward with your right leg. Lift up your upper body, arms above your head. exhale, chaturanga. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step forward with your left leg with your inhalation and lift up your upper body, arms above your head. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We stay here for a couple of breaths. So try to calm your breath again. Get a deep and steady breath once more. Try to pull your belly button inside, arms in one line with your back, neck is relaxed. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, bend your knees, sit deep, arms above your head. Exhale, get up to standing and arms down. Inhale, bend your knees, arms above your head, gaze towards the thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward with your right leg, lift up your upper body, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward with your left leg, lift up your upper body, raise your arms, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Engage your pelvic floor. Make sure that your belly button is pulled towards your spine. Your neck is still relaxed. And you're standing hip width apart. Your weight is evenly distributed into your hands. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, arms above your head. Exhale, come up to standing and arms down. Inhale, bend your knees, arms above your head, gaze towards the thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward with your right leg. Lift up your upper body, arms above your head. And exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward with your left leg. Lift up your upper body, arms above your head. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep and steady breath. Lengthen your spine. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Enjoy this position for a couple of breaths. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, bend your knees, arms above your head. Exhale, come up to standing and arms down. So now that we are warmed up, we start with the rest of our practice. Inhale, lift up your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest, and exhale, jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. And of course, we are shifting into a plank, so shift your weight forward above your hands. Draw your pubic bone towards your navel. Draw your rib cage in and pull your navel towards your spine. Keep breathing. Exhale, shift back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your right leg and step in front between your arms. And then place your left knee on the ground. Drop your left hip as close as possible to the ground and turn towards your right side. You can place your right hand onto your upper leg or onto your hip. Your gaze is over your right shoulder. Exhale, place your right hand on the ground again and then inhale, lift up your left knee and also lift up your right arm again, right towards the sky, and gaze is towards your right hand. And now try to keep your hips parallel to the ground. Again, place your right hand on the ground, but on the inside of your right foot. You can shift your right foot to the outside of your mat. And keep your left knee elevated from the ground. You want to drop your hip to the ground and forward. So you open up your left hip flexor. Inhale, come up to standing, but push your left heel into the ground. And then try to bring your hips in one line with your legs. Bend your right leg and bring your left hand into your back. And with your inhalation, you lift up your right arm and bring it with your exhalation above your head. We want to open our right side body. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, place your right elbow onto your right thigh and your left arm is expanding above your head. Push your right knee to the outside and stack your hips above each other. Inhale, come up and back to center. And we're standing here in warrior pose, arms on shoulder height, gaze above your right fingertips. Try to keep your hips open, so in one line with your legs. And then exhale, place your hands back on the ground, step back, get into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And it's time for another plank, so shift your weight forward and get into a plank position. Again, try to not collapse with your lower back, so your pubic bone is pulling towards your navel towards your spine, and you draw your rib cage inside. Exhale, shift back into your downward facing dog and then inhale, lift up your left leg and step in between your hands. Drop your right knee to the ground and you also want to drop your right hip as close as possible to the ground. Your right hand stays on the ground while your left hand is either on your upper leg or on your hip. Your gaze is back above your left shoulder. Exhale, place your left hand on the ground for a second and inhale, raise your right knee and also your left arm again straight to the sky. Your gaze is towards your left hand. And now again you want to keep your hip parallel to the ground. Exhale, place your left hand on the ground but at the inside of your left foot. Shift your left foot to the outside if needed. You want to draw your chest forward and your hip down and forward as well. Inhale, come up to standing and press your right heel into the ground. With your exhalation, bend your left knee and bring your left arm above your head, bend towards the right side. Your right arm is in your back. Feel the stretch in the left side of your side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, place your left arm onto your left thigh and your right arm is expanding above your head. Keep your right heel pressing into the ground. Keep your left knee pressing to the outside and stack your hips above each other. Inhale, come back up to center. Keep your left leg bent. Your arms are on shoulder height. Your gaze is above your left fingertips. Keep your hips open in line with your legs. Push your left knee to the outside. Exhale, bring your hands down, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb, and exhale, arms down. Catch your breath for a moment. And inhale, arms above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank position and then lift up your right arm. Try to keep your hips squared. You can take a little bit of wider stance here with your feet. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Keep breathing. Exhale, place your hand back on the ground and shift back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your right leg and then take a step forward, not too wide. Your left heel is on the ground, and with your exhalation, you want to bend forward over your right leg. Try to bring your belly button as close as possible towards your right leg. And keep your back straight. Your neck is relaxed. Inhale, come up to standing and then turn to the side so that you're standing in a straddle with your feet pointing forward. With your inhalation, you lengthen your spine, and with your exhalation, you bend forward. Now straighten your arms with your fingers pointing away from you. You want to stretch here your arms and your back. Try to keep your neck relaxed and your belly button pulled towards your spine. Then inhale, come up all the way, arms on shoulder height. Exhale, bring your arms behind your back, interlace your finger, and exhale, fold forward. Try to pull your hands away from your shoulder girdle to create some space in your shoulders. Your spine is nice and long. Your neck is relaxed. If possible, your legs are completely extended. Inhale, come up all the way. Now we're getting into a deep side lunge. The right foot is pointing forwards towards the top of your mat, and with your exhalation, you bend your right knee and try to get as deep as possible to the ground. You can place your hands also on the ground if necessary, or you keep them in prayer position in front of your chest. Inhale, come halfway up, turn over to the right side, place your hands to the ground and step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You repeat on the other side. With your inhalation, you get into your plank position and lift up your left arm. Again, try to keep your hip parallel to the ground. If you want to, you can take a wider stance here. Again, make sure you're not collapsing with your lower back, and press out of your shoulders. Push into the floor with your right hand. Exhale, bring your hand down and push back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your left leg and step forward. Exhale, forward fold. So again, you're folding here now above your left leg. Try to keep your hips square. Inhale, come up to standing, and now you're turning onto the other side. And we're again in a straddle position, but now your toes are pointing to the outside. With your exhalation, you bend your knees, your hands are in front of your chest in a prayer position. Try to push your knees as much as possible to your back. So you really want to engage your butt muscles here to open your hips. Inhale, extend your legs. Exhale, place your hands onto your thighs and bend your knees again. Now you turn over to the left side. Push with your right hand into your right thigh. Gaze is over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, and now turn to the other side, pushing with your left hand into your left thigh. So gaze is now over your right shoulder. Keep your knees pushing to the back. Inhale, come back to center and stand up. We will be again doing the side squat. So now bend your left knee and try to get as low as possible. You can either again place your hands on the ground or you keep them in front of your chest in prayer position. Inhale, come back up, turn over to the left side. Bring your arms to the ground with your exhalation and get back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, you jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into plank position. And now try to lift up your right leg. Try not to collapse with your lower back. And try to keep your weight forward. So do not move back into a downward facing dog just yet. So exhale, now shift back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your right leg a little bit more, and exhale, place your right leg on the ground. And inhale, bring all of your weight onto your right leg and get into warrior 3. So you want to build one straight line with your left leg and your upper body. Now lift up your upper body completely and place your left foot on the inside of your right upper or lower leg and get into tree pose. You can place your hands in front of your chest in prayer position if you want to, and try to push now your left knee again back. So you want to engage your left butt muscles. Try to keep your standing leg completely straight. And then exhale, step back with your left leg, step back with your right leg, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, shift forward into your plank position and lift up your left leg. You want to stay parallel to the ground with your upper body. So don't shift back into a downward facing dog just yet. Keep breathing, you can do this. Exhale, shift back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your left leg a little bit higher, and exhale, step forward. And now bring your whole weight onto your left leg and elevate your upper body. Try to get in one line with your leg and your upper body. Inhale, lift up your upper body and now place your right leg, or your right foot rather, onto the inside of your left upper or lower leg. Try to keep your right knee pushing to the back and try to keep your standing leg completely straight. Hands are in prayer position in front of your chest. Exhale, bring your right leg back down to the ground, arms to the ground, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch out your body, take some deep breaths here. And inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now lift up your right leg as high as you can towards the ceiling, but try to keep your hips square. So while you're lifting up your leg, keep your right hip pushing towards the ground. Exhale, bend your right knee and bring your heel as close as possible to your butt. Now you want to open up your body, so you're twisting towards the right side. You're looking through your right armpit, so to say. From here, try to bring your right heel to the ground on height of your left knee. You keep your left leg extended and your right arm is stretching out. So you're getting into a back bend here. Inhale, rotate back to the right side. Place your right hand onto the ground. Elevate your right leg once more. Exhale. Bring your right lower leg towards the ground. So your right knee is pointing to the outside. Your left leg is stretched out to the back. And if possible, with your exhalation, you can lie down onto the ground with your upper body. You do not want to shift with your hip over to the right side, but again, keep your hips parallel to the ground. Inhale, lift up your upper body. And now we want to feel even more the stretch on the left side of our hip flexors. So push your hip forward and then lift up your left leg. So you bend your left knee, and if possible, you grab your left foot with your left hand and push your foot closer to your butt. Keep your hips parallel, so do not shift to the right side. Exhale, release, and place your hands back on the ground. Push yourself back up into downward facing dog, and then get into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up your left leg as high as possible towards the ceiling, but try to keep your hips parallel to the floor. So try to push your left hip down. Exhale, bend your left knee and try to bring your left heel as close as possible to your butt. Again, you're opening here now your side body and you're looking through your left armpit. Your next exhalation, you try to bring your left leg to the ground. Keep it bent. Straighten out your right leg. And your belly button is facing now towards the ceiling. Your left arm is stretched out. And keep breathing here. Inhale, roll over to the left side. Place your left hand on the ground. Extend your left leg with your inhalation once more. And exhale, place your left leg to the ground with your left knee pointing to the outside. And with your exhalation, if possible, you can place your whole upper body to the ground. Your right leg is extended to the back. And again, make sure that you're not shifting over to the left side with your hip. So your hip stays parallel to the ground. Inhale, lift up your upper body and try to keep your hips parallel to the ground. So again, do not shift with your hip to the left side, but keep your right hip pushing down. Either you stay here, or if possible, you bend your right knee and try to catch your right foot and press your foot closer to your butt. Again, keep your hips parallel to the ground. Exhale, release. Bring your right hand back to the ground and push yourself up and back into a downward facing dog. From there you get into chaturanga, and then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. And exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift forward into a plank position, get into chaturanga and all the way down to the ground. So you want to lie down onto your belly button, extend your arms above your head, keep them on shoulder width, engage your legs, and inhale, lift up your legs, lift up your chest, lift up your arms. Hold it, keep breathing, you can do this. Exhale, release. Place your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, chaturanga, and immediately upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch out your back a little bit here. Shift your weight forward into chaturanga and back down to the ground. Now you bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. And once more, inhale, lift up your chest and try to pull your hands away from your shoulders. Open up your chest, lift up as high as you can. Keep breathing. Exhale, slowly release. Again, place your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, chaturanga and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here, stretch out your back. Inhale, shift forward into chaturanga and down all the way to the ground. Now bring your hands below your body with your palms facing down. Ideally are your hands touching each other, and inhale, lift up your legs. Try to keep your legs as straight as possible. And lift them up as high as you can. Hold it and keep breathing. Exhale, release. Hands below your shoulders. Inhale, chaturanga and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, stretch out here a little bit. Take some deep breaths. Inhale, jump forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We shift again forward into a plank position, get down into chaturanga and all the way down to the floor. Bend your knees and try to grab both of your feet. So either at the toes or at your ankles, wherever you can reach your legs. Try to keep your legs parallel when you inhale and push into your hands and try to lift up your legs a little bit. Open up your chest. If possible, your toes are touching each other. Keep breathing and allow your chest to open in this position. Exhale, slowly release. Again, place your hands below your shoulders. Inhale, chaturanga and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take some deep breaths and stretch out your back. Inhale, hop forwards and place your feet and knees on the ground. So you're sitting on your heels. Lift up your upper body, your hip width apart with your knees. Inhale, lift up your chest, push your hip forward. Your hands are in your back, in your lower back, supporting this movement. You do not want to feel any pain in your lower back. If you feel something, then slowly come out of this position. Draw in your pelvic floor and your belly towards your spine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands on the ground. And from there you want to go back into your chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once more, you can place your knees onto the ground. You can either repeat or you try to get a step further. You start again with your inhalation, lifting up your chest and pushing your hip forward. And exhale, if you can, you try to reach for your heels. Even when you reach your heels, do not collapse, but keep your chest reaching towards the ceiling. And then inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, hands to the ground. Get back into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, take some deep breaths and stretch out your back. Exhale, place your knees onto the ground, sit back onto your heels, get into child's pose. Your forehead is resting on the ground. Your arms are relaxed. Allow your whole back to relax now for a bit. Inhale, lift yourself up and push yourself back and up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, jump or walk forward in between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. And then we will hang here for a bit. If you want to, you can grab onto your elbows and inhale, lift yourself up, arms above your head, and exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. And now inhale, lift up your chest, but don't jump back, only bend your knees and sit down. You want to straighten your legs and get into seated position. Your legs are closed and engaged, your feet are flexed. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. As always, it doesn't matter if you can reach your toes or not. You can keep your hands on your legs or at the side of your body, wherever it's comfortable for you. Rather think of your long and tall spine. Keep breathing. Inhale, lift up your upper body and then exhale. With the next inhalation, you want to bring your feet together and bend your knees. Try to bring your heels as close as possible to your hip. Now you want to also sit up straight. So if this is not possible for you with your heels that close, then bring your heels further out. You can hold on to your toes. Try to push your knees to the ground, but only use your muscle power, so don't push with your hands. And if you feel comfortable here and your knees are relatively close to the ground already, you inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, fold forward. Again, try to keep a relatively straight spine, so you're aiming with your navel towards your heels. Inhale, lift up your upper body. Exhale, release, straighten out your legs again. And then inhale, you want to bend your right knee and place your right foot as close as possible but slightly outside of your hip. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, turn over to your right side. Bring your left shoulder as close as possible to your right knee. Your right hand can be behind your hip. Gaze is over your right shoulder. Make sure that your left leg stays engaged and your left foot is flexed. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, release. Inhale, make the same thing with your left leg, and then turn over to your left leg with your shoulder getting as close as possible to your left knee. Your left arm is behind your hip and your gaze is over your left shoulder. Again, make sure that your right leg now stays engaged and your right foot is flexed. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, release. Straighten out your left leg as well. Inhale, lift up your right arm and bend your right elbow. Place your hand between your shoulder blades, and then you grab with your left hand onto your right elbow and stretch your shoulder here. You want to try to bring your right elbow closer to your head. And exhale, release. We will do the same thing on the other side. So lift up your left arm, bend your left elbow, and then grab your left elbow with your right hand. And try to pull your left elbow closer to your hand so that your left hand can slide a little bit further down your spine. And exhale, release. And then you want to lay down onto your back. And in order to relax our back properly after all the back bends, you can bring your knees closer to your chest and hug your shins. And then you rock your hip from the left side to the right side, from the right side to the left side. Just relax your lower back. Keep breathing. And then exhale, straighten out your legs, and we have arrived at your well-deserved final relaxation. Your feet are falling apart, your arms are next to your body, your palms are facing upwards. Make sure that you are in a completely relaxed position. And if you realize that there's something not that comfortable yet, then take the necessary steps to change that. Allow yourself to sink deeper into the ground. Relax your whole body and also relax your mind. You can focus on your breath and simply observe how the breath is entering your body and how the breath is leaving your body. Slowly start moving your body again. You can do whatever movements that feel right for you in this moment. And whenever you're ready, you roll onto your right side and stay there for a little longer. With your next inhalation, you push yourself up and get into a seated position. Thank you very much for following along this power yoga class. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, then I would appreciate if you could give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to follow my channel so that you do not miss out on any other videos that I'm going to provide. For now, I say servus!